Hello everyone, we're back with Fate Grand Order. We're here with the Lostbelt 3 Prologue. This will be like the second half of it, although it's actually I think like a bit longer than the it's a half. Kind of. Anyway, yeah, last time we met up with Sion at the Wandering Sea and she was like, yo, it's all according to my calculations, and we're like, oh okay. She also gave us new rooms, which I assume we could actually see if there weren't an event going on right now. I think. Not actually for sure. UFO has time. Oh! We're at the obsidian round table. Korean's guy's here. Oh, that's Kadok. I'm afraid so. Skahak's city has been defeated, and a tree of emptiness is gone, taking the Scandinavian Lostbelt with it. Tragically, Ophelia didn't make it either. Sniff sniff! I'm so sad. Spare us the performance, Koyanska. Best girl. Makes me detest you even more than Chaldea. Oh my, you saw right through me. How embarrassing. The hero's going above and beyond to pay my respects to a fallen comrade by turning on the waterworks to go with a lip service. Star. Fair Ophelia was one of my most important clients. That jewel-rank mystic eye of hers was a real beauty. Completely wasted on her though. Textbook example of how one can have too much of a good thing. She'd only agree to let me have that eye before it got ruined. Would have done everything in my power to help her stay alive. I see. Well then I suppose it wasn't a total loss. Just the thought alone of you in possession of that eye is enough to turn my stomach. My Akuta. Surprised to see you grieving over Ophelia's death. Given what a misanthrope you are. Is this one of those don't know what you got till it's gone things? Or were you always secretly fond of her? Not that it's any comfort to her either way. See, the thing about friendship between girls is they're all about supporting each other. Just as long as there's also something in it for them. It's sexist. Girls can be bros too. Doesn't matter how much you might have disliked me. There's at least there for her. Once in a while. Actually trying to help her with her problems, but yo, all you did was sit back and watch. So what do you get off? Suddenly acting like she was so precious to you. You didn't do anything, so you don't get to say anything. Isn't that common sense in human society? Maybe you wouldn't have forgotten that if you hadn't shut yourself away all this time. How dare you talk to me like that, you dirty little fox. Alright, that's enough, girls. Save it for after we've all been wiped out, okay? I still forget my Goda voice. Come on, Akuta honey. You work so hard to keep your face as emotionless as possible. Don't let all that effort go to waste. Surprised to hear you being so straightforward too, you Kogan Scout. You usually play your cards much closer to your chest. I guess it just goes to show how much Ophelia's death really hurt the two of you. I have no idea what facial expression this is. Oh, wonderful! I love seeing the men trying to act all cool and stoic, pretending like it doesn't bother them. Look at us, sharing our thoughts and feelings about the deeply departed. It's almost like a real funeral. Stop that. I don't have any words of condolence for her. I only came here to report on my Lostbelt. I've done that, so I'm leaving now. Pepe, Karstaria, just to be clear, I want nothing at all to do with that foxwoman. She's not good for anything but toppling nations. Don't you dare send her to light my Lostbelt, not even by accident. Fair. Sorry. Hey, sure you did just up and leave. Whatever happened to teamwork, huh? You sure about this, Wodime? Koyanska is not the only reason Akuta was mad now. Pardon my French. She's furious at the loss of Russia and Scandinavia. If Koyanska hadn't given her an easy target, she probably would have taken her rage out on me. I can almost hear her berating me for being useless. She'd have every right to. Stop being so down on yourself, dude. You know, now that you mention it, I think somebody ought to. Why not me? I mean, sure, it's great you made it back here alive after Russia got taken out and all. You're one of us. But here's a question. Why are you still alive, Kadok? It was your servant who wrecked Chaldea, right? Then I hate you more than any of us. And here you are, without even a scratch. How the heck does that work? Are they seriously that freaking stupid? Or maybe you're thinking about changing sides. Ha! It's Kind of a relief to see you're still a complete mean guy, Beryl. Pardon my French. But you really gone over to Chaldea, I'd still be stuck in the border trying to choke down that nasty prison slap they serve about now. How do you know that? You were asleep the whole time. Trust me, they don't have enough resources to keep anyone non-essential around. I'm just a pathetic loser who managed to escape death thanks to sheer dumb luck. At least for now. I see. A loser, huh? Beryl? I'm just busting. Is that allowed? YouTube, hey. I don't have like a book to flip through the joke. Am I allowed to say that? Will I get demonetized even though I'm not monetized at all? I'm just playing with you, Kadak. All I really care about is that you're still alive. Ha ha ha. Gotta say though, it's a real shame you and Ophelia had such bad luck, pardon my French. Then again, maybe it wasn't that so much as Chaldea had good luck. They're certainly not getting by on actual skill. Hey, if they can't get my head around their idiot master still being alive. Hey! Like does a third-rate amateur like that keep walking away unscathed? It's gotta be either incredibly lucky, just getting carried, but a flattery getting you everywhere. But this is nuts. It's like me in League of Legends. Oh, don't forget that his defenses are perfect. Mashu is his servant after all. It only makes sense that a shielder would ensure her master is protected. Oh well. So Mashu's been keeping him safe, huh? Now I'm even more jealous. Imagine getting to play hero while hiding behind a... Wow! I'm not saying that because that is very mean and derogative of Mashu. I thought about making a joke, but I won't. If we take code, it's going to report at face value, then I have no choice but to agree. David, what do you think of the Master of Chaldea? Good question. Sorry to believe he's made it this far. As a rule, people going after war must bring a proven weapon. This isn't something they do to protect themselves, or even to accomplish their mission. They simply do it because they're incapable of moving forward without the assurance that they are able to fight. And yet, the Master of Chaldea continues to fight while being fully aware he has no weapon to call his own. I have a briefcase with servants in it. He either has no sense of danger whatsoever, or nothing. There's no other possible explanation. He's a total joke of a mage. Like, he doesn't even really deserve to be called a mage. Stop taking your insecurities out on me. The only thing he can really do, like Chaldea's Mystic Code, is to rely on Chaldea's Mystic Code to convert his life energy into magical energy for his servants. Since there's no way to do that over a distance, he has to be as close as possible to his servants to manage even that much. There's no way of defending himself. He's too stupid to command his servants from a safe zone, like we can. So he's only got one choice. And that's standing on the front lines like a gosh darn moron, pardon my French. And trust me, he's trying like heck to keep from... peeing himself the whole time, pardon my French. YouTube will ban me for that one too. Because as you know, I marked the YouTube for Kids option, of course. No, I don't. Koyanska, let me make sure I have everything straight. You say that Chaldea didn't defeat Ophelia, rather that she sacrificed her life of her own accord. Oh, she said that? You also say that in order to stop Cert, the fiery king of giants, when hiding in the Scandinavian Lostbelt, before he could trigger Ragnarok, she used her serious light, acting not as a cryptor, but simply as Ophelia. Exactly, Lord Kistria. She abandoned her responsibilities as a cryptor. Dang, seriously? What a twist! This means your butt got dumped, Wodime! Man, she's so into you too. See, this is why I can't stand chicks. Just can't trust them. Man, that's not cool. I confess, I am disappointed. An overestimation of her abilities. Scandinavia was a peaceful Lostbelt after all. That she could not control even such a place. Well, that reminds me, Kistria. I actually have a little question of my own. You knew about Cert all along, right? And you're still interested in Scandinavia to Ophelia. I'm still not really for sure about Kistria's, like, just personality. Like, how much does he actually care about the cryptors here? That was a pretty cold comment to make about Ophelia. But, you know, obviously I didn't last about too. And I know some stuff about him, but that's not his personality. That's just what's up with him. In fact, weren't you the one who told her to keep Cert around? If so, something doesn't quite add up. So it was the natural enemy of the Scandinavian Lostbelt, you know? Does that mean you left him there specifically so you'd destroy it? Is that what the foreign guide asked you to do? Yes, I did advise Ophelia to keep Cert around. Convinced Hucksketty's nature, thought it'd be possible that she may sympathize with Chaldea. I suggested she keep Cert around as a sort of insurance against that eventuality. Sadly, it seems even that was too much of a burden on her, that it would have turned out better. Aha, now I see. So you're worried Ophelia wouldn't be able to handle it on her own. You always knew what a weakling she was, even as you kept telling her how much you trusted her. You're a devious one, aren't you, Lord Krishnaya? In that case, I'm happy to forget the whole thing ever happened. I'll make sure not to mention this to the foreign god, or the other alter egos, of course. I appreciate your faith in me, Koyanska, though I always find it worrying whenever you add in bonuses like that. Koyanska, you said you lost track of Chaldea around the North Sea. Suppose they could have escaped with a zero sail, given their lack of resources. Can't imagine they would be willing to do so for long. In which case, they must have reached the Wandering Sea. How troublesome. Oh, they know about that? That was the one place the foreign god couldn't touch, or the place the foreign god felt no need to bother with, at any rate. Since the mages of the Wandering Sea have no interest in the future of modern mankind, we assumed they wouldn't interfere with our plans. But perhaps our decision to ignore them was a mistake. Huh? Not even the foreign guy could do anything about them? Evidently not, since they clearly avoided being erased. The Wandering Sea is an island unto itself, both part and separate from the rest of the world. You can't take an eraser to something that doesn't exist. Anyway, this puts us in a pretty pickle. I have no idea how we'd find them now. How about you, Koyanska? You could travel between Lostbelts at will. Can you track them down? I'm afraid not. I may possess independent manifestation, but I can't sneak into the Wandering Sea without knowing exactly where it is. That makes sense. Then I guess we'll just have to forget about Chaldea for now, focus on our own Lostbelts, and... Not happening, Pepperoncino. Between Kadak and Ophelia, they've already taken out 2 of us. Can't ignore this Chaldean remnant any longer. Need to crush them. Quickly. I don't know how to feel about Pepperoncino. Like, is he, like, relatively on our side? As far as cryptors go? Feels like of all of them, you know, Ophelia was probably the closest to being on our side, and he's second. Although, I could totally see him being completely against us. Right, Old Dime? There's no reason to keep eyesores like them alive any longer than we have to, is there? Oh, come on. Don't tell me you're siding with Pepe on this. You're gonna let them get away with this? Then again, I guess you're already pretty much set, aren't you? No one could ever hope to cross that sea of yours, after all. All you've got to worry about is which bottle of champagne you're gonna open after you win by default. But if you're asking your commoners, this is a matter of life and death. Isn't that right, David? How am I supposed to enjoy my manhunts when I know Chaldea could stab me in the back at any time? Come on, Koyanska. This is your jurisdiction here. I mean, it's 3 of you alter egos, so can't you figure out a way to take care of them as part of your job? All great disciples of the foreign god? Let me think. Rasputin's team is out fighting a group of proper human history servants in the Grecian seas right now. I wonder if they're going to mention the other alter ego. I forget when they actually show up. Or mention, I should say. I don't know. Is that creepy Onmyoji? Loves about India so much, but he refuses to budge from there, so... Yes, I have to handle this one myself. That's not in my contract. I'm guessing India, then. So you want me to get rid of those pesky Chaldeans for you? Oh, alright. That's nice of it. Just like that, huh? Can you really pull it off? I mean, I thought you just said you couldn't sneak into the Wandering Sea. Oh, don't worry about that. We pros have our ways. That said, eliminating all of them is going to be one expensive job. Now you can afford it. So just you won't mind if I take a more cost-effective measure? Oh, what do you have in mind? Hold on, I'm scooting forward. The important thing is to neutralize the threat Chaldea poses, right? Won't be a problem. I have bad posture leading into the mic. They only have one master to spare after all. So you just sit tight while I go assassinate him before anyone else even notices I'm there. We won't fall for that. Looks like Kolinska's warped away again. Do they think she went to the Wandering Sea? Considering that neither the foreign guy nor the disciples have been able to locate it. I have difficulty imagining even Kolinska will be able to infiltrate it anytime soon. Oh, knowing her as I do, I expect she must have some sort of plan to reach her destination. Stuff! She can actually warp to the Wandering Sea? I was just screwing with her. Because it really does never hurt to ask. And also, where can I get that kind of warping juju? Because hot dang! Pardon my French. Anyway, she'll make good on her word. Also like her pick up going the assassination route. Guess I better make sure I stay on the good side from now on. That way, I know I'll have a ticket out of my Lostbelt if everything goes to stuff, pardon my French. Why so pessimistic, Barrel? Is your Lostbelt really that horrid? And let's just say it's all going to plan. Right, Woldheim? I don't know what that means. I literally don't know what that means because his Lostbelt's not out yet. Oops, I've said too much. Time to go. Later, Kadak. You enjoy that Greek nightlife since you've got nothing to do but live it up. Oh, save me a few drinks. What I screw up to? We could have a loser's night out on the town. As if he wasn't treating me like a traitor just a few minutes ago. Worst part is, he meant it. Whatever, this meeting's done, so I'm heading out too. Besides, I only just got to the squeaky Lostbelt. You said there's a few different polis here, right? Let me go check them out while I heal up. Was he gonna walk out again, just turn off his hologram like the rest of them? Hehe, that isn't Kadak doing so well. He's still as angsty as ever, of course, but he's so much more brazen now than he used to be. It's wonderful! Subarashi! Anyway, I think I'll be going now too. Castario? David? This may not be my place to ask, but aren't you two at all sad about Ophelia's death? Good question. I can't say I've spent much time giving Ophelia any real thought from the beginning. But for what it's worth, I do feel her loss. So David seems like an okay guy. I see. Looks like I'll be the only one bringing flowers to her figurative grave then. That's okay. Flowers are the one thing my Lostbelt has plenty of. Might not line up with their beliefs, but I can still hold my own little funeral for her. I'll be sure to add some flowers for you too, Castario, since I've not seen you so much as smile since you sat in that chair. Are we gonna have a scene with Castario here? Wait, yeah. You're in... I don't know how to say that. Indefatigable? That's not a real word. Positivity never ceases to impress me, Pepe. Lucky to have you around. But you needn't concern yourself with me. Losing the Scandinavian Lostbelt is no more than a minor setback. And we no longer have Cert as a failsafe if things take a turn for the worse was a strategic loss, however. What was he planning on doing with Cert? Still, if there's anything I regret... Ophelia. We only knew each other for a few years, but I knew you were a kind and gentle woman at heart. Did you see me as some sort of great figure? I'll strive to live up to that. I'll end proper human history in order to write a new one, and build new truth in its wake. You may try to resist members of Count Ea, but then in the end, it's we cryptors who will prevail. So I feel like I kind of have an idea of what you wanted from Cert, but I can't say that because like I remember reading something. I feel like I read something. I was like, oh, okay, that kind of. Like, I don't know too much of Lostbelt 5, but I know. I remember there's something that happened. I just don't really remember what it was, and I feel like cert was maybe tied to that. 2 weeks after docking at the Wandering Sea. Okay. I wonder where we are chronologically right now. Because Lostbelt 2 happened pretty much right after Lostbelt 1, right? So this is like May-ish, right? I almost said his name. Yep. As you can see, did my best to recreate Chaldea right here in the Wandering Sea. Is this a new song? Well, it sounds familiar. Maybe it's use the same leitmotif, but that opening sounded new. I call it the Wandering Sea Chaldea base. Go on everyone, I believe a round of applause is in order. This is amazing, senpai. Can't believe Sion and Captain built all this in just 2 weeks. Indeed, this is quite the contribution to our cause. Then I suppose this is what the Atlas Institute sprites can do. I say, you there. You didn't forget about my director's office, did you? The one I ordered with a private bathroom? Wait. You're the director? Yes, that's right. The captain of this ship, so to speak. No, he's captain. As for 3 things. A gorgeous director's office, a stylish operations room, and a German-style kitchen. Why German? This command room should suffice for operation. I already have verified that the kitchen is up to snuff, but I haven't seen my director's office anywhere. I presume we took my importance and safety into consideration, made a secure hidden room? That sort of initiative goes a long way with me. I have a lot to look forward to when it comes to your starting salary now that you're in my employ. Crap. There's an empty warehouse for that. I see. So there's an empty warehouse for my office's entrance, eh? Commend you for arranging such an elaborate disguise. But I must say, passing through a warehouse whenever I enter or leave my room sounds like a bother. Tell me, Captain, how do you feel if it were your quarters? Alright, you've convinced me. Anything worth doing is worth doing right. See, I'm heading out on another job, to make sure everything's perfect. Oh, guess our first servant summoning with counting a spirit origin graph. We'll have to wait then. Our hand kinda looks weird. It's better than Rikishi at least. Horsey, Machu, Sir Goredolf, staff members. They don't get names. And of course the 2 servants, Da Vinci and Sir Holmes. Let me first congratulate you on a job well done with all you have accomplished these past 2 weeks. Who are the staff besides Minnie or however? Like, there's that one lady, right? Is she still with us or did she die? And I think there's another guy, right? Or I'm trying to think back to the prologue because they had sprites. I guess they just like French cooking boy takes over, you know, all the characterization they really need. As you saw when we first got here, the Wandering Sea is not exactly the most accommodating place. That all changes today. From now on, you'll each have your own private rooms. No more sharing one big communal space. I also have a cafeteria now, which should be serving proper food starting soon, tomorrow. Been living on supplements and artificial blood for a long time now. So she is a dead apostle? So building a cafeteria was a novel experience for me. Now then. I think it's time for the first Chaldea Atlas joint strategy meeting. But first, do you know what the Atlas Institute is, or do you like a refresher? I'm familiar with Atlas. A bunch of alchemists together in Egypt. May I say something before we begin deliberations, Miss Sion? Apart from the fact that you're a survivor of the Atlas Institute, we still know very little about you. For example, what is your motive here? Why are you helping us? Because the world is nice? Why? I'm not sure I know how to answer that. I mean, when you're faced with a problem, you work to solve it, right? And as far as this particular problem goes, you people of Chaldea are essential to the solution. I thought that was why we decided to join forces and become friends. Wait, so I was the only one who thought that? Of course we're friends. We are? Great, then we can get down to business. My apologies. Let my cautious nature get the better of me. Should have remembered that the Atlas alchemists are not motivated by personal gain. Their sole desire has always been solving problems. I do beg your pardon, Miss Sion. Please rest assured that I'm delighted to have gained such a capable ally. Right then, shall we get down to business? I went ahead and skimmed through your logs from the day Chaldea was attacked until you ended up here. December 31st, 2019. Chaldea is attacked and frozen solid. I remember this. That same day, 7 pillars of light are seen streaking down from space. Kirstaria Wodan broadcasts his victory speech. Kirstaria used to be a master from Team A, the linchpin of Chaldea's ray shift experiment. But now he refers to the new group he belongs to as the Cryptors. Even that Team A was found to be missing during the operation to unfreeze them before Chaldea was attacked, we can assume that the Cryptors Kirstaria refers to are the other Team A members. As for all of you, you undertook a zero cell on the Shadow Border in order to escape the Opportunity. We don't need a recap, it's only been like 8 months, I think? Although you only spent a week inside void space, 3 months had passed when you emerged into standard space. Oh, it would have been late March, wasn't it? I thought it was early April. To do so, the border you had to rely on your sole connection to standard space at the time, the Opportunity. This led you to the Russian Lostbelt, a frigid alternate history inhabited by the Yaga. I remember. Attempting to gather more information about your situation, you ended up facing off with Ivan the Terrible, the king of the Russian Lostbelt. You then managed to cut down Orochi, the tree of emptiness that had taken root there. Still working on what those trees actually are. But based on the data about its internal gravitational field recorded during that battle, the group could make an educated guess. Once the tree was cut down, the storm it had been generating disappeared. You were finally able to pick up my broadcast from the Wandering Sea. From there, you decided to make a beeline for the North Sea. But on the way, you ran into another obstacle. The Scandinavian Lostbelt. Yeah. Hold on. When I first saw you lost the Vapor Moon, I have maybe screamed a little bit. I might have. But it was very unbecoming of an outlaw, so you can imagine my relief when I found out you recovered it. She could see what was going on in the Lostbelt? Huh. Then went on to face Hawkskadi, the king of the Scandinavian Lostbelt. Able to cut down his tree of emptiness, sombrero. Impressive track record. After that, it battered and damaged, we made it to the North Sea. Wandering Sea, yeah. You don't need a recap. And now, here we are. Did I get all that right? Do you have logs other than the ones on the border? Well, now that I think of it, have there been any canon events? There is one. Was it Goredolf 3? Oh right. Back when Senpai and I stopped by some ruins we found along the way. Oh. Huh? Found a survivor's journal? You failed to mention it? Let me see that. So there were some people lucky, or maybe unlucky, enough to escape the bleaching. Also says the attack lasted for 3 months. Huh? What's up? Is there a problem with it? No, not a problem exactly. It's just odd that whoever wrote this decided to record it on paper. Well, of course they did, young Sion. There's no electricity out there. These ruins are no more than a few shattered buildings. There's no generator anywhere in sight. Exactly. Well, that's why it's so odd that these letters are not written in ink or pencil. It is as though they are burned into the paper, or something like paper. Does this mean there's some kind of power plant out there after all? Well, we can work on that later, as we have more information. I don't know what's up with that. So you two have been inside the Lostbelt now, and experienced their differences from proper human history yourselves. These Lostbelts are dead-end timelines that were pruned away by human history itself once they were deemed unworthy of being allowed to continue. For example, the Russian Lostbelt diverged from proper human history in the year AD 1570. It seems that each Lostbelt to appear on Earth has continued from its point of historical divergence onto the current present day. However, just because a Lostbelt may have diverged from further back in the past, does not necessarily mean it is stronger. A Lostbelt's strength, or threat really, is not so much of a matter of its age, but of how much it differs from proper human history. The Yaga may have been physically different from mankind, but their lifestyle and culture were still carried over for proper human history. By contrast, the people in Scandinavia may have led peaceful lives, but their society was essentially being kept on life support. So given that we know from these two, decided to come up with a metric we could use to rank and compare the Lostbelts. I'm assuming that's the grade they have. Call it the Lostbelt depth. The greater the Lostbelt depth, the more strongly it refutes proper human history. What is the Lostbelt depth of the two we've seen? Russia was like E, right? And Scandinavia was like B, I think? I wanted to assign preliminary Lostbelt depth rankings for all 7 of the Lostbelts. Oh, is this the size of them? Oh, wait, is this where the Russian one was? I thought it would be like further east. Huh. And that's Scandinavian. Wait, that's British. That's the Greek. Oh. That's South America. Oh, this is the Greek one. Okay, okay. Because it's the ocean. I see. So, that's obviously the biggest. But South America is surprisingly big too. This makes it nice and clear. You Atlas people really do work fast. As you can see, there are 3 Lostbelts in Europe, 2 in Asia, 1 in South America, 1 in the middle of the Atlantic. That last Lostbelt is the only place on Earth that still has an ocean from before the world was reset. Question mark? Wait, cut, scratch that. Forget about the Wandering Sea. We still have oceans too, obviously. Never mind that. Did you see the Atlantic? There can't possibly be a Lostbelt in the middle of the Atlantic. There's never been any inhabitants in the middle of the ocean in all of recorded history. Well, there are now. Heck, that Atlantic Lostbelt is our ultimate objective. That is the one spreading its tree of emptiness branches all throughout Earth's atmosphere. And I have a good cause to believe it is where we will find the Cryptor's leader, Karstario Wodan. An Atlantic Lostbelt, huh? Okay, so there's only one place I can imagine it could be. You think it's really possible, Holmes? This sort of thing is your forte, isn't it? I can't speak with a complete certainty, but if what you are thinking is correct, we'll certainly have our work cut out for us. For one thing, we have no means of getting there, as the border is simply incapable of making such a long sea voyage. But there's another more immediate difficulty. There truly is a civilization in the Atlantic. It will be much, much older than any of the 4 great civilizations. What are the... I wonder what... I mean, probably Europe, China. If you count, like, the Middle East is separate from Europe, and, like, you want to count, like, the Aztecs? They have existed since prehistoric days. A robust, stable world, though, have had over 12,000 years to develop. Or, like, if you want to, like, be specific, like, you know, like the Romans, the Chinese. You could, I guess, the Greeks, but I think they're talking about, I don't know. Come on, man, don't whip on me now. This Lostbelt is the greatest immediate threat to us, not to mention Wodan's home base. It's our duty to take the fight to him. The other Lostbelts can wait. We should be on our way to the Atlantic even as we speak. I recommend that course of action as well. Yep, Lostbelt 3, the Greek Lostbelt. As we know, like Russia and Scandinavia, the storm walls bordering the Lostbelts in China and India are not expanding, so there should be no danger in leaving them there be for a while. As for the Lostbelts in Britain and South America, Trismegistus calculates an extremely high probability that they'll both self-destruct if left to their own devices. I've not been able to get a proper reading on the British Lostbelt's depth. That's just another sign that it is a poor fit for this world. But I've been unable to confirm what's going on in there. Compared to proper human history and the foundation of humanity, it's pretty clear that humanity in there is on the verge of collapse. So it's reasonable to assume that mankind in the British Lostbelt will go extinct within the span of months rather than years. Though I do wonder why the British Lostbelt is the only one surrounded by a wall of light rather than storms. So I think the theory is it has to do with Yongo Minion. We haven't gotten to that Lostbelt yet, so we don't really know. We saw that on the border too, came to the conclusion that it would be best for us to stay away from the British Isles. Last is the South American Lostbelt. While it appears to have a very high values to its Lostbelt depth, you can't seem to get any clear information. So I can only conclude that its civilization is just about dead and gone. And that in turn means that even among all of these bizarre histories, it is exceptional. And thus no one needs to concern ourselves with as far as fighting with the others for dominance. So in short, your next destination is the Atlantic. To that end, we'll be making some extensive modifications on the border. By we, I mean Da Vinci and with me assisting. However, since it'll take us at least a month to finish, I'd like to invite the rest of you to enjoy a bit of rest and relaxation here in the meantime. That goes double for you, Sir Goredolf and Horsey. Once we get our operation going, you two will be on the front lines, so you should take advantage of the rest while you can. You'll need to get all the rest you can before the final battle in the Atlantic. The sea voyage in the border, huh? Don't have to tell me twice. Heh, it's the commander of this outfit. I hardly expect to be on the front line. But you're right about me having been under considerable stress. Indeed, now would seem to be an excellent time to recuperate. I must say, I'd heard that every mage in the Atlas Institute was a cranky old misanthrope. You've turned out to be the most considerate young lady. It would be the height of rudeness to turn down such a kind offer. Now then, think I'll begin with a nice hot shower in my wonderful new office. About that. Haha, things are finally looking up for old Goredolf. We'll have the world saved in no time. Why don't you go rest up too, Senpai? No, I can't wait to see what our new rooms are like. Yes! Let's go check them out. Oh. And I'm kind of jealous. If anyone deserves some free time, it's those two. Anyway, how about that, Sion? We're gonna keep going with the meeting? I should warn you, even you might have a hard time modifying the border. Good point. Your designs appear to be all similar to the magecraft from the Middle Ages, while mine are based on cutting-edge alchemy. We could well end up having incompatible design philosophies. But never mind that. Truthfully, I'm much more interested in that exoskeleton. I think he called it the Ordinax? Mashu's own spirit origin tuning is perfect, but the Ordinax still has a long way to go. I imagine it is pretty difficult for Mashu to fight in that, am I wrong? Oh yeah, I did build a lot of the Ordinax for spare parts for the border that I just had lying around, so of course it's not perfect. So what did you want to mess with? You know there's no way to restore your old defensive power, right? Of course, we cannot possibly recreate Galahad's gift with Earth as it is now. So instead, I was hoping you might let me tinker with the bunker bolt mechanism. I mean, it does not have to be right this second, but I have something in particular I'd like to add to it before we get to the Atlantic. I know what it is, and it is beautiful. Before I got pulled into Triggs Megathys's development, I was working at a conceptual weapon related to one's natural longevity. It's something from a past Nasuverse work. If you don't know it, I won't go further than that. It's just like being back at Chaldea. Is it the same room or is it different? I know, some of the details are a little different, but still an amazing recreation of Chaldea's rooms. Sion and Captain really outdid themselves. Why don't we go check out your own room, Mashu? Yes, good idea. I'm so happy I forgot about that. Okay, I'll go take a look at the room they gave me right now. Are you all done with work for the day? So there's no reason not to relax and enjoy yourself now. Good night, Senpai. I'll see you tomorrow morning for breakfast in the new cafeteria. Is this their way of making events canon? I guess if Da Vinci shows up again, it ruins it, huh? But like if there's an event, they can show these backgrounds and be like, oh yeah, it's here in the Wandering Sea, wink wink. I realized how late it was. Bolt? Looks like it's 1 in the morning. Come to think of it, I didn't have any dinner. Well, still fast asleep. So this cafeteria should be ready now. Time to do something stupid. Spoiler. Can't believe this. The nerve of that Atlas churl. Not only did he not have my director's office ready, he had the gall to tell me to use a sleeping bag at the dock until it was done. Oh, poor Goredolf. Some captain he is, but not he's some pirate scum of a heroic spirit. He thinks he can treat me like this. No, this won't do. Can't lose my temper like this. Get a hold of yourself. Be elegant. Breathe from the diaphragm, just like Tool taught you. Captain may try to hide it. Who is Tool? But his dignity is unmistakable. No pirate could fake that. But then, who could it really be? I just can't. Oh, oops! Oops. Commander must. Who could? I can't tell. Well, I could ask him myself, but I can't do that. Commander must maintain a certain dignity. Can't he just accept that we're allies now and tell us his true name? I'm gonna make myself comfortable since I'll be spending the night here. Manure, Kawata? I thought that said Karawa. Octavia, Tomlin, Shin, Cayenne, Elgon, Marcus, Q8, Horsey. And I see he had no problems remembering to make rooms for all my staff. Okay, so we have the exact number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, plus Goredolf, plus your elk spirits. Well, they may have their cushy beds, but there's one thing I've got that they don't. Midnight snack time. Ha ha ha. Now then, I think I'll go back in the new kitchen. You often raid the kitchen like this, Director? I like that they gave him a sprite for it. I'm not raiding anything. Really having my midnight tea time. Huh. You're sharper than you look, aren't you? Never imagined anyone besides me would try to get a jump on the kitchen. Still, I do commend your taste. Presume you're lured here by the sweet scent of butter? Oh, very well then. Already had my fill. Here, you can have the other half. There's some leftover tea as well if you want it. It smells so good, how can I refuse? Oh, by the way, is everything alright with you? Other than my servant girl, for that matter. She has a name. Never mind. I see you must have woken up in the middle of the night despite being utterly exhausted. That could only mean you've been unable to relax your mind amid all that has happened. Well, I can hardly blame you. This must have been an arduous journey for a young man with no military experience. Once you've had some cake and a nice hot cup of tea, you should have no trouble drifting right off. Go back to your room once you finish that. You'll see how right I am. And of course, I trust that you'll join me in the pretending none of this happened tomorrow morning. Now that you've eaten the other half of the cake I found here, that makes you my accomplice after all. God, I love Goredolf. Huh? What do you mean by that? Exactly what I said, of course. I found this cake here with a note that said, "For Horsey." You ate my cake? Don't bother making excuses. Your friends baked it as part of a master welcome party they'll be throwing tomorrow morning, didn't they? Some nerve you lot have, throwing a party and not inviting me. Wait, so he just started eating a cake he thought was from me? Goredolf! I mean, I was pretty steamed when I saw the cake with your name on it. But I calmed down quickly and decided to do the kind thing and taste it for you. Before I knew it, I didn't half of the thing. In fact, I was just appreciating how delightfully sweet its cream was when you found me. Well then, are you finished? Haha, good. That makes us partners in crime. Director? Look kinda pale. Huh? Hold on. You need to know about this cake? Then, who made it? More importantly, is it just me, or are we both looking off color? I also can't help but notice that I'm feeling rather cold and dizzy all of a sudden. Goredolf! Warning! Unauthorized life form detected. Civilian personnel, please remain in your rooms. Security team, please suit up and come to the command room. An unauthorized life form? Then, we've got an intruder here? What the? They're a baker. They gave us a cake. Oh, thanks, Captain. Get back before you get hurt. There's a real nasty woman over there. Captain? Who is it? This way, Director. You gotta save Goredolf. Well, this is an unpleasant surprise. Never thought a grown man would stoop to stealing food meant for a child. In fact, you shocked me so much that I lost control of my presence concealment. Seems the one thing you excel at is getting in other people's way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Excellency? Tamamovich Koyenska. Oh, I actually got get her name. Huh. Impossible. How did you get into the Wandering Sea? Koyenska? Hold up, run that name by me again? Trade secret. This was a special trick I'm afraid I could only do once. And now, you've gone and ruined it, Your Excellency. There's only enough poison in that cake for one person. Half a portion means half the effect. I can't believe my plan to poison him without leaving behind any evidence has backfired so spectacularly. Poison? Poison? Don't be absurd. Give it a thorough taste test to ensure it was safe. Between the buttery scent, the buttery taste, and the creamy-like texture, it was a perfectly gourmet cake. If it had truly been poison, I would have spit it out of the first bite. I accounted for that, of course. Made sure to use just enough that not even a maid would notice. I even went to the trouble of mixing it into a delectable cake instead of plain old water, just to be doubly certain. Man, Goredolf just ruined her plans. He is the expert. He knew this would happen, of course. Well, what's done is done. And since it looks like everyone else is on their way here now, I think I'll take my leave before things turn violent. I'm sure you'll have no trouble figuring out what the poison was with Sherlock and Da Vinci here, but that's all we'll be able to do. If you want to actually neutralize the poison, well, you have no choice but to fight your little friends to the death again. And that should be quite entertaining in its own right. Dang it, she's warping away. What are you waiting for, you fool? Hurry up and catch her before she... It's no use. She's already gone. Never mind her now. I need to get you two to the infirmary. Xian, we've got an emergency. Take Da Vinci and meet us inside the border. I'll do my best to cleanse the poison from them in the meantime. That's not good. I'm back. Just got out of the infirmary. Senpai, are you okay? What did the test say? Calm yourself, Miss Kigurelight. I'll get to that. It's been half a day since Kogenska infiltrated our new base. We've done everything we can to treat Horsey and Mr. Goredolf. Bluntly, Mr. Goredolf has at most 10 days left to live. It's not good. As for Horsey, this is rather difficult for me to say, but... Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna die. Goredolf will be the new protagonist. Difficult as this is to say, he's essentially fine. Oh. Why? The poison remains in his system, but it'll have no more effect than a bad cold. What, because we only ate like a little bit of the cake? A cold? Even though it's fatal for Director Goredolf? That can't be right. We both ingested the same amount of poison. Oh. Yes, but thanks to his contract with Miss Q... Oh! I thought that was gone now. I figured that had to do with the Galahad. Huh. Thanks to his contract with Miss Kigurelight, Mr. Horsey has a rather potent resistance to poison. If that contract were to be broken, he would most likely be dead in an hour. Thanks, Mashu, you saved me again. That hasn't been brought up since the Camelot. Well, of course I'm honored to be helpful, but I think it was Serenity, right? Or maybe it was mentioned in Babylonia. Or maybe in... Was it in Epic of Remnant? I don't remember. Don't we still have to do something to help Director Goredolf? Dang straight you do. What are you waiting for? I know you can figure out an antidote. They say genius recognizes genius, right? You're two of the greatest geniuses in human history. Then put all that genius to work and help me already. Terribly sorry, but for once, there's nothing we can do. We analyzed Kogenska's poison, and first she's chosen some frankly troublesome ingredients. This base sequence does not exist on Earth in 2020. As such, there's no way for humanity in its current state to reproduce it. Which also means it's impossible to formulate an antidote. Its base sequence doesn't exist on Earth in 2020. So Trismegistus II is telling us, yeah? We did determine that the poison they ingested is some sort of natural substance. But we have had no success determining what planet it was extracted from. All we know is its name, Shanshui Mingmai, or Immortal Decline. The fact that it was used a number of times in the past. I wonder where it comes from. I can tell you its name is likely of Taoist origin, considering all its references to immortality. The planet it comes from is medicinal, but unfortunately that is all. It doesn't exist on Earth in 2020 then. This can't be happening. And my chances for receiving an antidote are zero. Glasses, Da Vinci. Not to worry. That's what you've got me for. We may not be able to reproduce the poison just yet, but since we know it's of Taoist origin, it most likely comes from China, so our next step is clear. Just because it's gone in the modern era doesn't mean we're out of options. After all, I've got a whole different China we know nothing about just waiting to be explored. A China that followed a completely different path than the one in proper human history. So I'm absolutely, completely certain that we'll find an antidote to that poison in the Chinese Lostbelt. Actually, they imported it from India. It came from right next door. Whoops. Even if we don't, we can learn what it's made from by studying the local ley lines. As luck would have it, I've just managed to summon the perfect guide for us. Oh? Jinkei? Come on in. This is a momentous occasion. The very first helper we summoned with Chaldeia's spirit origin graph. Faster than the wind, cuter than fire, this lotus spirit's charms even melted the heart of Tai Zhenyuan. Who? That's right. It's the artificial Bao Bei made in ancient China. The marshal of the central altar, Crown Prince Naja. Okay. Not expecting Naja. Da Vinci? That ain't chill. He's wasted on me. It's embarrassing. I still haven't done Salem, so I haven't actually seen them in there. But I am honored to be the first resummoned. Ni hao. Happy day. Horsey, Mashu. I have heard what happened. You did so well surviving that. I will help you from now on. I will work 3 times harder to make up for lost time. Thank you, Naja. I need to level you now. That's wonderful. Da Vinci, you beautiful goddess. I knew glasses suited you. That it would go to the Chinese Lostbelt to save me? Fantastic. The Atlantic Lostbelt can wait. Besides, we need to deal with all the cryptors sooner or later. Prepare to go immediately, everyone. We're invading the Chinese Lostbelt to take back proper human history. Next Lostbelt. Now I understand how you feel, Master, but Director Goredolf's life is at stake. We have to deal with all the Lostbelts, no matter what it may be awaiting us in them. After all, we're not wanderers. We have our own world, with our own history. Yeah, I know. Alright, I understand and I have no objections. It should be a good learning experience. Besides, you're still technically poisoned yourself, Horsey. Just because it's not affecting you right now does not necessarily mean it will not later. You really should neutralize it. Wonderful! This is tremendously promising. What are we waiting for? Let's get the border ready too. Not so fast. There's something else we need to clear up first. You ate all the birthday cake! That was for Horsey! How did Kogenska enter the Wandering Sea? We did not understand that, so we know it can't happen again. It should be impossible to warp into the Wandering Sea from the outside, since it's impossible to see and its coordinates are always changing. Yet, she popped inside like it was nothing, which means it must have been something she was able to use as an anchor. Just to clear up any doubts, Miss Sion, I don't suppose Kogenska was originally from the Wandering Sea. Or perhaps she had visited here at least once before? No chance. This is definitely her first time here. And that leaves only one possibility. One of us summoned her. Oh! Oh! Rather more precisely, one of us possesses something with some connection to her. Oh, okay. Goredolf? Something connected to her. What do you think it could be? In this, I don't see anything related to magecraft. It could be as simple as a pair of gloves or a hairbrush. Whatever it is, I'm guessing it's something small that contains a fragment of Kogenska herself. Dr. Goredolf? Is something wrong? What is it? I'm so sorry, Your Excellency. I appreciate your kindness, really. But I've been hurt too many times in the past. I just can't bring myself to trust anyone else again. Even though I really want to. Snuggling up close. Yes, of course. I understand completely, darling. Rest assured, I am a patient man. I can wait as long as I must to melt the ice around your heart. In the meantime, you may use my connections as you see fit. I'm not known as Music the Phoenix for nothing, after all. My passion is as hot and sultry as my namesake. I swear to you that one day, my undying love will find the perfect mink coat to warm your frozen heart. Huh? Why aren't you saying anything? Forgive me, Your Excellency. I was just so touched by what you said. Your Excellency, I want you to have this lipstick. Pretend it's me. Keep it close to your heart where no one can see it. That's a weird gift. Know how awful it can be, so I'm afraid I may end up disappointing you over and over and over and over. But please remember this. If you swear to hold on to that lipstick forever and ever, I promise you that one day I'll return to you, no matter what fate Grand Order may have in store. Snuggling up close, even closer. Yes, of course I'll remember. I have faith in you, Koyenska. I always will. Well, started bawling. Is that lipstick? Why you? You! You stupid, stupid thing! So it turns out it was actually Gordy's fault. Very well, lipstick. Very well, fond memories. At any rate, that's one problem taken care of. We finished investigating the base and removed all traces of Koretsuka or anything she left behind. We should no longer have to worry about unexpected visits from her in the future. Correct, Miss Sion? Yeah, she had one shot at taking you out, and she blew it. I would venture a guess that she's none too pleased right now, but you know what they say. Goes around, comes around. Oh, don't have time to feel sorry for myself. Holmes, Da Vinci! As I was saying, we need to leave for the Chinese Lostbelt immediately. Just the border is ready. We only have 10 days to find this plant. We can't waste a single minute. Come to think of it, are you sure we'll make it in time? Not already done for, am I? Don't worry, I never thought about that. Just need to run it by Sion. Sion, you designed the paper moon. Do you think it'd be possible to zero sail from here all the way to the Chinese Lostbelt's border? Especially since I'm guessing Captain there's actually... Shut it, Da Vinci. Can't stand having other people share my secrets. Of course, I'll keep my mouth shut. As long as you help us out, that's all that matters. My estimation, a zero sail should let us jump from the wandering sea straight to China. We'd still have to worry about getting inside from there, of course, but I figure the actual trip to the Lostbelt would take less than a day. What do you think, Sion? Am I totally off base? Nope, all sounds right to me, Da Vinci. No wonder you're Chaldea's, or rather, humanity's guardian. I would have suggested the same thing, you're just quicker about it. The Atlas Institute will be glad to get you to the Chinese Lostbelt, right, Captain? I'm not part of the Atlas Institute, but I suppose it can help. I'll have you to the Chinese Lostbelt in less than half a day. After that, it's all up to you guys, Horsey. Thanks, Captain. Fo-fo! Yes, we all agree then. Okay, everyone, get ready to head out. I estimate you should have room in the border to fit supplies for about 15 days. I'll open up the Wandering Seas dock in an hour, so please make sure you're all set up by then. Your next destination is the Chinese Lostbelt. Your objective is to obtain some Jianshua Mingmai, investigate the Lostbelt, completely cure your 2 poison personnel. For the bonus round, you can defeat the Lostbelt's king, cut down the Tree of Emptiness, take out the Cryptor. I know you're working against the clock as well as any hostiles you encounter, but try to stay calm. At this point, any differences the Atlas Institute or the Wandering Sea may have had no longer matter. From this point on, I hereby dub the Wandering Sea Chaldea number 2, Novum Chaldea. As Trismegistus II's caretaker, I'll do everything I can to support you. Alright then. It's time to get this operation, this order to explore and decipher Lostbelt No. 3 underway. Good luck with everything. I'll see you all when you get back. I'm assuming that's the end? Hold on. You stop it. I wonder, do we get the world map, or is there like another prologue for Lostbelt 3 itself? Oh, there. Okay. It's not like you click on it, it's just there's a straight up prologue. So yeah, that'll be it for the Lostbelt prologue. Next time we'll be starting the Synchronized Intellect Nation Sin. See, it's like the first letter of each word. What is that, an acronym? Something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna take a well-deserved break for tonight. When I finished Lostbelt 2 and I did the prologue all tonight. I know Sin is actually pretty short, so I'm hoping I can knock it out in the next 2 weeks before New Year's. We'll see about that though. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time for some more Fate Grand Order. I'll see you guys there. Bye.